The suspension layout remains mostly unchanged, with MacPherson struts up front and a torsion beam at the rear, but the updated technology should give the chassis better control and refinement. The most visible difference is that the Aygo X is far larger than previously. It's 235 millimeters longer and 125 millimeters wider than the original Aygo at 3,700 millimeters. Even though the rear doors are almost comically small, you always get 5 doors with most new hatchbacks. The engine has been carried over from the previous Aygo. It retains the 1kr mill from the original Aygo, which was designed by Daihatsu for tiny automobiles. The 1.0-liter 3-cylinder petrol engine has received some updates over the years to keep it compliant with the latest emissions regulations, but it hasn't received any significant power boost, so the Aygo X is still limited to 71 brake horsepower and 69 pounds-ft of torque. The 1.0-liter 3-cylinder engine has poor torque and requires a high number of revs to start running without stalling. The fact that the clutch is imprecise and has a high bite point doesn't help matters. After that, it pulls strongly to its 6,500 RPM redline with the signature 3-cylinder growl, and the Aygo X can comfortably cruise at 70 miles per hour on the highway. The short throw and mechanical feel take the edge off the sluggish performance, as long as you don't try to rush the shift. It takes a lot of gear changing to keep the 71 brake horsepower on the boil, but it's not a bother. A wonderful addition is pedals that are properly positioned for heel and toe walking. It also helps that the gear ratios are evenly spaced, with no large gaps between second and third gear. However, to make the most of the meager power, the gearing may be a little shorter overall. Instead of the rather minimalist furnishings of the old Toyota Aygo, the dashboard has been entirely revamped and features a strong, fun style with a splash of color. There are still a lot of harsh plastics and exposed iron on the tops of the doors and other places you wouldn't expect to see but that's to be expected in a car like this. You also don't miss out on technology. In reality, the screens are not only more advanced, but also more user-friendly than those seen in many other Toyotas. The speedometer is analog, but the tachometer and fuel gauge are digital displays with lighting elements. A small color screen inside the speedometer displays the standard information in a concise yet straightforward manner, and it's simple to browse using the steering wheel controls. Toyota's latest system was installed in our top-spec test car, and it appears that they have finally gotten it right. It is responsive enough, the interface appears modern, and it is simple and straightforward to use, with large buttons and a limited number of menu levels. When it comes to estimating traffic delays, the built-in navigation falls short of Google Maps, but it otherwise performs admirably. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are available, and a physical button allows you to switch between smartphone mirroring and the native system.